When you woke up this morning, I bet you never thought in a million years that you would be here to hear me tell you how happy I am to know that you're here another day. When you got up this morning, I bet you didn't know that there was somebody who couldn't wait to call you, who just needed to hear your voice, to just know that you're here. When you got up this morning and you looked around and it seemed like everything around you just wasn't going right, I bet you didn't know that today was going to be a good day. Because it was another day you made it. You made it. You won. You did not give in. You kept fighting. You got stronger. And you proved to yourself that there's nothing that can ever get in your way. And there are some days where you're not going to always feel at your best. You're not going to always feel like the top of the world. And when those days come, you just got to dial 3 simple numbers. 988. Just 3 small numbers can give you a chance to talk to somebody so you can make a decision that is sound and one that we can live with. So before you make a decision that we have to live with, make one that you can live with and go get some help. Because tomorrow needs you. Now let's talk football. Pride Nation, what up, though? And welcome back to another Field Review podcast show where we talk all things Detroit Lions. And if you read the title, it's clear as day, the calm before the storm. And it's because I have had the honor of going through and reading a multitude of articles, watching a multitude of videos, and coming to a clear understanding that this week that we have off before our first game is exactly that. It is a calm before the storm. And the Lions are going to be in a storm. They're going to be challenged this season. They are no longer the hunting. All right. That's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe that they are no longer the hunting. They are the hunted. They're the ones getting chased. And here's the reality of it. I don't buy that BS not one bit. Why? Because we're trying to do something we've never done. And that's one, get to a Super Bowl. 2, win the Super Bowl. And that requires hunting. That requires letting the hunter know that you're not the only one with a gun. You're not the only one who's looking out to make sure that they survive. That's what the Lions must do. And that's the calm before the storm. So before I get into it, things we're going to talk about today are the Pick'em League. We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about some of these videos where people have some opinions that you can tell they were told to say these opinions, and their heart and spirits really want to say something different. Okay. So before I get into all that, let's look at who in the building with me. All right. We got my man Lions bad guy John Kapler in the building. What up, though? Looney Tunes in the building. What up, though? Ghost Gunners in the building. BD Busters in the building. So it says, so Luke, you have found a St. Louis Ram YouTuber to bring on the show and go on the show. Maybe I didn't. I don't know yet. Talking to a few people. We got Giovanna Lyons in the building. We got Mikal Holt in the building. We got Perry Ball in the building. Ed W is in the building. Crimson Shadow. That Fan Man is in the building. Mac Walker's in the building. Friendly Neighborhood Lions fan is in the building. What up, though? And thank you for the congratulations on the new baby. 100%. And make sure I ain't forgetting nobody. All right. It said just watching the Tigers drives me crazy again. Yeah, I get it. All right, Perry Ball throws up the first question. Luke, do you think the Lions can handle the pressure? I do. And I think that they are set up to handle it in a way unlike other seasons. You know, we've had other seasons where we've had some form of success, right? But if you go back and you look at those seasons, there were certain things that stood out. So when you go back to those Jim Schwartz times when we were having some type of success, it was one-sided. It was special teams and defense. And the offense really wasn't doing much of nothing. And then when the offense got sparked and going, the defense wasn't doing much of nothing. And when you go through and you look at the Jim Caldwell era, where he tried to create a form of balance, you had an offense who did something, but a defense who really didn't offer anything. So I do think that looking at this team, it's way more balanced. It gives you way more options to do different things with your team. And I think that, yeah, we're 100% more than prepared to handle this level of pressure. So first things first, though, I do want to bring this up because it's back, baby. And if you look into the description of this video, you will see this. The Pick'em League is back. I set it up today. You literally have up until the last 5 minutes before the game gets started to get in the league. I personally would not wait that long. Every person who was in the league before, just check your emails. I resent invites to those people who were in the league before. If you were in the league and your email does not show an invite back to the league, just simply join. The name of the league is in the description. The league ID number is in the description. And the password is in the description. And if you're having any problems, just comment on this video and we'll get you in there. The only difference to this year is in previous years, we would go all the way into the playoffs. I took that out. Why? Because I could not focus on making picks when I'm too excited about the damn playoffs. So we're just doing the regular season. Okay. That's what we're doing. Regular season, nothing else, nothing more. I'm not looking to reinvent the wheel, people. I'm just looking to what's the word I want to use? I'm looking to have a fair competition where we can see who really picking these games right. Okay. So the Pick'em League is back in effect. Now, one of the things I do want to talk about is the Green Bay Packer love. I am finding way too many articles and videos of people picking the Packers. But there is one video that truly caught my attention that I have to start to show off with because this is absolutely hilarious to me. And it comes from First Take with Shannon Sharp, Stephen A, and Bart Scott, our fellow Detroiter. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Coach Dan Campbell's crew dominated the NFC before getting knocked off by the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. The Lions not the only NFC North team, however, who turned heads last season. Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers also impressed a lot of people. Right now, the Lions are the favorites to win the NFC North for the second year in a row. The Packers are next at plus 225, while the Bears are 3-1, and the Vikings are 9-1.
Now, I give you all that for this purpose alone. They're going to get into this whole candid conversation, and we're going to break that down. It is not hard. But let me answer Joel C's question real quick, who says, how do we join the Pick'em League? If you look at, if you go to Google or anything like that where it says, and type in Yahoo Pick'em, you will see that the Yahoo Pick'em. Once you click on that, you will then be able to, go and get in. If that does not work, if you just go to the description of this video, there's a link in there that you can click on, and it also has the name of the group ID number, and the password for you to join. It's that simple. It's right here on this video. Click it, join in. But if you want to find it, simply look at Google Yahoo Pick'em, and you'll have it. But everything is right here in the description of this video for you to have. So I made it as simple as possible for you. when hasn't the media been meat riding the Packers? It is what it is. What's going on, Joe Lewis? He says, I made it. What up, though? So, again, Stephen A. them started this off with showing the favorites and stuff. Listen to this from Shannon Sharpe. I love me some Shannon Sharpe, but listen to Shannon Sharpe.
Shannon, do you have the Lions or the Packers winning the NFC North, bro?
Now, I want y'all to do please pay attention to Bart Scott's face. But make sure you listen to my good brother Shannon Sharpe. But just look at Bart Scott's face, and then let Shannon Sharpe speak.
Man, I really love what the Lions are doing. But, man, Jordan Love, man, after what I saw him do, and these young receivers are only going to get better. Man, and they got Josh Jacobs to run the football, so they're going to be able to run the football, I believe, a little bit better than what they ran it with Aaron Jones, and he still can catch the ball out of the backfield. Man, I love the Lions. I think I'm going to take the Packers.
Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch how he was like trying to praise the Packers and stuff? And then go, man, I love the Lions. I bet you do. See, the heart gonna say what the heart want to say. The mind gonna say what you thinking every single time. And the reality is he know damn well he ain't picking no damn Packers to win. But what he didn't want to do, he wanted to be able to create a show that gave some controversy. He wanted to do something that allowed for him to create some discord between him and the other analysts that's on there who's talking about this. That slip of the tongue was as much of a reality as anything, okay? And it's not even close to him acting like he really believes in the Packers. The amount of time it took him to even break that down was even funny. Wait till you hear Bart Scott talk about it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. What up, though, D-Matt? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? I see Junior Gitter. It was like, I always botch your name, Junior Gitter. I probably said that right. Sorry if I botched the name, bro. But let me get back into it. Obviously, Shannon loves the Lions. And in case you missed it, let me just go back just a smidge because he's so enamored with what the Packers is doing.
Football, I believe, a little bit better than what they ran it with Aaron Jones, and he still can catch the ball out of the backfield. Man, I love the Lions. I think I'm going to take the Packers over the Lions. They're going to spring the upset, Bart.
Before they come after you, Aaron Jones is in Minnesota. You're talking about A.J. Dillon. Before the Twitter bot started.
No, but they replaced Aaron Jones with Josh Jacobs, who can run the ball a little better. I know A.J. Dillon is still there, but they replaced him. Aaron Jones was their utility guy. He could run the ball, could catch it, and I believe Josh Jacobs can do all those things, especially run the ball better. I don't know if he's the receiver, but he can catch it.
Now, I want y'all to take a look at Bart Scott. He's got the finger up. He's got the hand pointed. He's ready to get into his bag and explain what is going on. He's just going to ask the man the simplest question he can.
Do you believe?
It's simple. It's simple. That's all he's going to ask him. Do you believe? Let that man Bart Scott talk.
Listen, the Lions were fighting left-handed last year. Right, Aaron Glenn didn't have no horses in the stable, man. He had wet paper bags out there on the defensive side of the ball.
Wait. Bart, stop this. Thought we had to fire the defensive coordinator. He's the problem. Fire the defensive coordinator. He's the issue. Okay? That's the problem. He's the problem, Bart. Don't you dare make it seem like we had such great players on defense. My apologies. I'll let Bart.
He had wet paper bags out there on the defensive side of the ball. What do? They go out there, they got Carlton Davis, they draft Teron Arnold, right? They go out and get DJ Reader, who was a beast, and then they get Davenport to balance up the rushing attack. So now you talk about a complete team that's going to play with a level of physicality that represents its city and represents its coach. Like, so if they won last year 12-4, and I know you can say that they got better, but you talk about, you don't think Laporta's going to be better as a rookie who almost had 1,000 yards receiving? You talk about the running back.
Oh, for sure.
Right, so you talk about David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. This is one of the best dynamic dudes in all of football. And Jameis Winston is just scratching the surface.
If you notice, it's little things you got to pay attention to. He's like, they get the best, and he goes, oh yeah, oh, then he had to realize, oh wait, I don't already pick the damn Packers. Can't root for what I picked against, right? He can't do it. What's going on, John Jones? What's going on, Dr. Detroit? What's going on, Ghost Gunner? Right? He can't talk against what he's already been told to do. He was told to talk about the Packers when deep down inside he does not believe this. But as you see here, I'll go back a smidge so you can hear him almost interrupt as he's breaking down things for the Lions. And you hear Shannon Sharpe wanting to get in on it.
It's going to be better as a rookie who almost had 1,000 yards receiving. You talk about the running backs.
Oh, for sure.
Right, so you talk about David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. This is one of the best dynamic dudes in all of football. And Jameis Williams is just scratching the surface to be able to blow the top off the defense. So where's this team vulnerable at? This is a team that, because of some sketchy coaching in San Francisco, going for it instead of securing the points, should have won that game. And then they lost some people on the offensive line. They went out and got Kevin Zeitler to kind of fill that void. This team plays with a level of physicality that now their defense can play with the same physicality as their offense on the other side. They're going all the way to the championship, man. You can write that down. The What Up Doe's finally going to get that shine. A broken clock is right twice a day, and this garbage can finally going to get a steak. My dad going to be happy.
That's just
shout out to Bart Scott, baby. Listen, Shannon had to smile because he know that he don't believe this, but he has to push this narrative. And I'm telling y'all this because I'm trying to get y'all to pay attention. As we're going through, it's not just this media outlet. There's our own media outlet who's going to push certain narratives that are not true. I've already showed y'all how they push negative narratives about Hendon Hooker that was just a bunch of baloney, right? It's like you just have this idea that you can't say, hey, this guy is good, and we got two good quarterbacks. Well, guess what? The Lions have two good quarterbacks. Because trying to hype up Nate Studfield was not it. Okay, it wasn't it. What's going on, Michael Huck? And thank you, sir. I appreciate the congrats. Yes, thank you. But this is not what they really care about. And Stephen A. Smith actually agrees with Bart Scott. Now, I'm not going to play his part because there's no need to go into it. I just simply wanted people to understand that these are the type of things that you're going to see on a regular basis. You're going to see people who are going to challenge things that don't make sense. It doesn't. And the reason you're going to see that is because we are in the calm before the storm. You got a week to do a lot of stuff, a lot of predicting. Rich Eisen is picking the Lions to win the division. He got other people on the show who picking the Lions to win the division, but he got people on the show who picking the Packers. There's other outlets, CBS, NBC, and a whole bunch of other ones have the Packers winning, and there's some other people who have the Lions. But they're all trying to create the one thing and the one thing only, which is buzz, the calm before the storm. Let me bring it up to you another way, okay? When I examine this, I had to go and look at this article. Now, I did not write this article, okay? I didn't. But I also understand what satire looks like. Okay, and if you do not know what that word means, please look it up. All right, I did not write this article. This is not my doing. This is not my doing. I want you to take note of the headline title of this article. And while it's satire, there's some things in here that, I mean, what can I do? I can't argue with him. But he titles it, and mind you, I want you to look at the date. This came out at 1:57 p.m. today. Why your team sucks, 2024 Detroit Lions. Right? And, you know, he gets into it. He says, some people are fans of the Detroit Lions, but many, many more people are not fans of the Detroit Lions. This 2024 Defector NFL team preview is for those in the latter group. Read all the previews so far. So he's going through the teams, doing them. If you click there, if you want to know what the article is from, the article is from from Defectors. Okay. So, but this right now literally came up. If you Google Detroit Lions, this is and put it on news. This is one of the things that came up. Okay. And he starts it off with your team 24/7. Right. And it says ESPN bet Lions plus 7.5 are in control as we head into halftime. The NFC Championship game. They are currently a negative 550 to join the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Detroit first half, right? Oh, no, wait. I'm going to go down a little bit further. Wait. Oh, right here. Okay, this is what I want to get to. So he's doing this 24/7. And again, he says your 20 2023 record 24/7, 24/7, 24/7. He then goes and says, sorry, I've gotten ahead of myself. I've been working on those previews 24/7, so do forgive me. Now, these are the Detroit Lions who I'm previewing much later than usual. This is because they made the NFC Championship title game last year, right? And he talks about some stuff that I'm just like, okay. Now, mind you, it's satire. I'm not even upset at this. But again, the calm before the storm tells us that this is the stuff that they're going to put out because it gets clicks, right? It gets clicks. Everybody is talking about the Lions, so we need to talk about the negative side. I'm okay with it. It is what it is, right? Because he's not doing this on a serious note, but he's having fun with it. It says, what happened? How did they get there? Did all of the other teams in the NFL die last year? No, but the NFC was absolutely dog shit. So kudos to the Lions for navigating a 50% functional NFL to stage the most successful season in their modern history. They beat the defending champs of Kansas City in the first game of the season and then went on to win the NFC North and a walk at 12-5. True, they only beat 2 more winning teams after that week 1 bowl victory. But these are the Lions. Everything gets relevant. Now, he gets to talking about some of the lowlights and some of the things that happen in there, between some games. But some of the things that jumped out to me was when he talked about this. But the Lions coasted into the playoffs despite all those fuck-ups. Once there, they snuck up by their old quarterback, Matthew Stafford, for their first playoff victory since 1991. Then they beat Tampa Bay in the divisional round before going to Santa Clara for the NFC title game. There, the Lions took a 24-7 halftime lead against the Niners, and it didn't feel fluky in the least. We're talking about Detroit posting 148 yards rushing in the first half alone, and 3 different players running for a score within that time frame. The Lions were the better team. They were pushing the big bad Niners around at will, and they were going to go to the Super Bowl for the first time in their history. Their fans believed, and they were right too. All the Lions had to do was hold on to that 24-7 lead. Then he puts, my voice begins fading as if you are waking from a dream. A 24 lead, a 24 lead, a 24 lead. He gets into it. And this is all going to sound familiar because somebody like me brought this up before. And the reason I'm doing this is because it's the comic for the storm. And I'm going to show you why this is necessary in so many ways. He says, guess how many times the Lions ran the ball in the second half? Go on, guess. If you said 20, no, you're way off. Fuck's wrong with you. You think I asked you that question if the Lions had actually done a smart thing? Please. Lions coach saw their man trampled San Francisco for the opening 30 minutes and then decided they only needed to run the ball 7 more times the whole game. That sounds familiar as hell, don't it? It do. It sounds familiar. So when people was out there trying to blame the defense and trying to blame Aaron Glenn, and I saw it a little bit different, but it's okay. Because I want this to be the sting that is necessary. And so the reason for this is I want you, the audience, to take this in and understand that this is meant to be satire. This is meant to be clickbait. This is meant to get attention, and it worked because it's got my ass talking about it, right? But this is what he says. They didn't even run the ball on their 2 fourth-down attempts in that half. Both attempts would fail. Keep in mind that Kyle Shanahan was on the other side for this game. Wild shit, but by the end of the third quarter, Detroit lead was gone. By the end of the game, the roar was back in storage. No Super Bowl for you. No Super Bowl ever. Why? This the part that stood out to me. Why? Well, let's ask the Whistle Twitter in charge of this joint. The Lions' success this season is going to come down to this because one of the things that I keep hearing in terms of the themes is that the Lions lost this game because of the coach. The Lions were unable to succeed because of the coaching decisions and the other decisions that were made by the coach staff of the Lions. And that's fine. People want to have that stake. That's cool. But I think it's a little bit premature to decide to say that the Lions are only going to go this far versus going this far, all because they determined that, you know what, he made poor decisions that time, as if though people don't learn from their mistakes. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if any of you ever dated any person right, and broke up with him, raise your hand, because I'm pretty sure everyone who can hear my voice has done it. Okay, if any of you ever had a girlfriend and got rid of a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, just raise your hand. You learn from the mistakes. This is a human behavior. You hear me? This is a human behavior. You learn from that. Shout out to John Jones to hit that like. You know what I'm saying? This is a human behavior. All right. Now, when you look at this from a more objective perspective, everybody's hell bent on looking at the negative outcome of the game. Nobody's looking at the fact that they were up on that team. Nobody's looking at the fact that they did win the game that they're supposed to win. Nobody's looking at the fact that they did go through the playoffs and make their way into an NFC championship game. Nobody's looking at the fact that this team has improved in the area that was weak. And if they improve, I believe the head coach improved. What's going on, D. Williams? So again, when you go through and you look at it, it's very intriguing how funny that this is. And again, people don't even realize these satirical articles are published for every team by them. Exactly. And I only showed it because I want you to understand that there's still some truth in a joke. The best jokes ever told were truthful. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But the reason I'm showing this is because it goes to another narrative. And it brings me to my point on how you should be viewing the season. And I'll tell you how I'm viewing it. Let's go and look at another one where we talk about the game predicting guy who decides to talk his talk about the Lions.
First, Detroit's only like a type roster for some reason.
Now, he's going to give his floor and ceiling for this team. I'm going to let him do his thing, and we're going to talk about it. Luke, do you think Dan will use the kicker more in half and half? No. I think Dan will use the kicker more when kicking is called for it. I don't believe Dan is going to abandon going for it on fourth down. I don't believe he's going to look at it and go, oh, I got to take the field goal. Because one of the things that people don't realize is the Lions took a field goal earlier in the year. I want to say it was against Seattle. And that got them to go to overtime. And Seattle went right down there and scored. I'm not trying to be funny, but you win games by putting points on the board and keeping the other team off. So if that means they scored 12 points from field goals and we hold them to 0 or 3, cool. But it has to be a total, complete team effort. All right. Let's see what he got to say about the Lions' floor.
Still good enough for a nice hot start. Home wins over the Bucs and Seahawks, a road win over Arizona. Good enough for a road win versus Minnesota. They could still beat Tennessee at home, come back a few weeks later and take Jacksonville at home, defend the Den versus Chicago and Green Bay, sweep the Vikings to finish a 9-8 floor that would be as much a reflection of a
Now, this is going to sound crazy to people, but that's fair. It's fair because you have to look at what he did. He's telling you this is the floor, 9-8. Depending on how you want to do it, you want to put your one game up or one day, but 9-8, they should not be less than this. They should not be less than this. The other important part I want you to look at is this is the floor just based on what he sees as automatic wins. These are his, like, take a pen, write it in. These are automatic wins. Right? Let him keep going.
difficult schedule as anything.
It's not going to be perfect. It's not.
Eminem calls cap on that if he was young enough to use such lingo. He'd have Detroit take the Stafford sequel. We got the Colts on the road in Week 12. The Bills aren't winning in Detroit either. And break out the Bears brooms for one more win, a 13-win ceiling that would be a feat with the road they have in front of them.
There it is.
The game preview guy guess, I can't see well out of this bag, but I can't see how they don't win 11. I love donuts, so let's make it a baker's dozen, 12-5, and right back in the thick of it.
Let's go. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win.
So,
how can you be mad at that? And I'm not trying to be funny. The standard needs to be 12-5. 12 wins need to be the standard. I'm not asking you to do something you didn't do before. I'm telling you to do what you did. 12 wins need to be the standard. Making a playoff need to be the standard. Winning the division need to be the standard. Getting back to the NFC Championship need to be the standard. And I'm going to put it out there as a second, if at all, getting to the Super Bowl needs to be a standard. Winning the Super Bowl needs to be a standard. I don't have a problem when a person can come on and break it down and say, you know what, if you just took these 9 games right here, that's 9. So essentially, the Lions got to steal 3 games to get 12. That's what they got to do. They really got to steal 3 games to get 12. Let's just look at what he talks about when he breaks down some of the things that happened in offseason.
You playmakers, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're running it back, and why not? Goff, Montgomery, St. Brown, Gibbs, Laporta, and Williams all just getting started. They could be scarier than last year. O-line, only one change. Zeitler for Jonah Jackson, so they might be stronger up front, and that group was already one of the best in the NFL. The question in D-Town is on the D side. Will someone be able to help Hutchinson get to the quarterback on the other?
That's going to be the question that everybody needs to know. Who is Robin? Who is Robin to Batman? Who is War Machine to Iron Man? Who is it? Who's the Crypto to Superman? You know what I mean? Who is that person? That's what everybody want to know.
Other side, secondary has all sorts of new blood. You can mix and match the names however you want. Sutton, Jacobs, Walker shown the door. 2 new rookies, Carlton Davis, Robertson welcomed in. Green paint galore for the moves. Secondary should be improved. So what gives with a 10.5 over-under line when they won 12 last year?
Dan Campbell's in there right now saying, where are your kneecaps?
Let's play pessimist.
Now again, if he's given the floor 9-8, and I want to make sure
Detroit's only like a 9-win type roster for some reason. Still good enough for a nice hot start. Home wins over the Bucks and Seahawks, a road win over Arizona. Good enough for a road win versus Minnesota. They could still beat Tennessee at home, come back a few weeks later and take Jacksonville at home, defend the Den versus Chicago and Green Bay, sweep the Vikings to finish a 9-8 floor.
Now, I want y'all to just think about this. Let's just say hypothetically, this goes exactly how he sees it. Hypothetically. Okay? This goes exactly how he sees it. All right? You only got to steal 3 more games. If you win all those games, steal the game at home against the Rams. Right? Steal the game against a Cowboy team who just brought back Ezekiel Elliott and brought in Dalvin Cook. Still a game from them, right? Still a game from the Colts. Just find 3 games for them to steal. Seriously. It's not hard. It's not something that's so outrageous. And it's so funny to me because we're still asking the same question that everybody's asking. And we're going to know if this was a mistake from our general manager or not, and not addressing our pass rush with a legitimate pass rusher. Because I'm not counting Marcus Davenport. I'm sorry. I'm not counting him. I do not believe that he is it. I do not believe that. But at the end of the day, we have to be able to see this from a perspective that's different. It's a calm before the storm. Everything you read, watch, it's going to be giving you early predictions. When the time comes for the games to get picked, watch how everybody picked. It's going to be different than what they predicted early on. And after that first week, watch how everybody started jumping ship on teams that they thought they was in love with and hopping on other ones. But when you get a guy who can, again, this is satire, and there's truth in this, okay, then you have to understand that, guess what? As much as you would like to be upset about this, as much as you would like to say, you know what, I don't like this type of article, it is what it is. I just thought it was funny. And for those who wanted to check it out, feel free to check it out. He says, Dan Campbell is 5 years away from being the dumbest member of the NFL Today studio crew. But for now, he's the greatest Lion head coach of my lifetime, which is such a low bar for excellence that you need to borrow a come on now. A submersible from James Cameron to find it? Come on, bro. Tesla compliance department has a richer legacy than this organization. Regardless, I must not believe that there's something special brewing with the coaching staff, mostly because of offensive coordinator Ben Johnson decided to stick around rather than coach the dumbest team in the NFC East. Will Dan and Bill call more tackle eligible plays at the goal line this season? Baby, that's going to be the only play they run there. No, they're going to call it again. And when they call it, they're going to call it again against the damn Cowboys. Mark my words. Mark my words. They're going to call that play against the Cowboys, and they're going to literally make sure without no question that the referee announced to everyone that this person is eligible, and they're going to sneak a receiver or the tight end underneath while everybody flows to the tackle for a touchdown. They ain't gonna call it again. All right. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. But what it's not is a time for you to get caught up in all the other dumb shit. 100%. It's 100%. We need this. We need for there to be a Robin to the Batman. We need for there to be press about the Lions. All press. Good, bad, and ugly. Good, bad, and ugly. Which brings me to my next point. Okay? Which is another fine article that was written, surprisingly, by the Minnesota Vikings beat writer. He previewed the team and gave his opinion. But before I get into that one, I do want to bring up the article that we got from Sports Illustrated. Because these are the questions that we should be asking ourselves as we get ready for the season. The strengths and weaknesses of our team. Everybody's aware what the weakness is at this point. We are aware what the strengths are. I don't think they're going to offer anything new. We know that the running backs is a strength. Offensive line is a strength. Secondary, I question if it's a strength or not because there are some things that give me some pause. Right? Wide receiver, we know it's a weakness. We know this. This is not news to anyone. I get it. But I don't have a problem with Khalif Raymond being the number 3 receiver. I don't. He's shown that he's been just as effective. We're really looking for another receiver so St. Brown can remain in the slot and cause problems. That's what it really boils down to. Right? And I'm okay with him being on the outside. But everybody's talking about edge compliment for Aiden Hutchinson. Who's going to compliment Aiden Hutchinson? And shout out to Aiden Hutchinson for recognizing somebody had on his jersey, a little young boy at the airport, and pulling up on him, letting him know, like, hey, you wearing my jersey? Taking a picture with him and everything. It made that boy's day. And while some people may argue that this is a small thing, let me give you a brief story. When I first had a chance to ever go to any type of thing pertaining to the Lions, I got a chance to meet some Lions players. One of them being Barry Sanders. And Barry Sanders was very nice to me. But more nice than Barry Sanders was Herman Moore, which is why he is one of my favorite Lions to this day of all time. Because he didn't realize that the generosity that he showed to a young man would go so far. Just him being so aware to not only talk to us, but to even sign whatever I had for him to sign at the time. And at the time, the quarterback was like Scott Mitchell or something like that. And I remember I went to go get my autograph from Scott Mitchell, and Scott Mitchell was as rude as they come. I wouldn't even argue he might have been drunk or high. Can't prove it, but he was an asshole. But what Aiden Hutchinson did for that little boy was so huge because those moments are things that you cannot forget. Those are things that little boy will never forget no matter how much you look at it. So kudos to him for making that moment there, for making that something special for him. Shout out to him. All right. And in case you didn't know, let me bring that back up for the people who didn't know. The Pick'em League is now up and running. You just got to join it. Okay. It is linked in the description. So feel free to go in and look at it. It's linked in the description. 100%. Just putting it out there. Dr. Detroit says, Lomas was always cool with me. Used to help his big man camps. Great dude. If I'm saying, it doesn't take much to be a decent freaking human being. It doesn't take much. Some people get a little bit too strong for themselves, and that's just what it boils down to. All right, let me see. Nuke will be back by week 3. Houston and Davenport can't stay healthy. I don't think Houston is going to be getting hurt. I think it's hard for somebody to stay healthy when they're coming in spots and playing. It's just your muscles get cold, and then you got to get. It's a whole thing. Trust me. Let me see. That's the one thing about Brad Holmes I don't like. He keeps delaying the making our D-line top tier by getting Hutch someone on par or better at edge. I've been seeing a lot of fake news come up, people. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. It's been a lot of fake news of people in our YouTube world and in the article world with these claims like, oh, the Lions can trade for Michael Parsons. You really think the Dallas Cowboys going to trade Michael Parsons? And if they are, let me ask you a question. What do you think you're going to give up to bring Michael Parsons here? Seriously. Seriously. Michael Parsons ain't stop the madness. Stop it. It's not there. It's just not there. Do I have concerns about DJ Reader? Yes. A big man who tore a quad. You have any idea how much that can slow you down? I hope he's ready week 1. Shout out to Looney Tunes for joining the Pick'em League. Good luck this season. I'm trying to win this one. I mean, with Gibbs, Monty, Vaki, Laporta can fill wide receiver if needs be. I agree. But they want the depth. They want somebody that can, compliment. The real thing is everybody's going to talk about it, but it's the truth. Jameson Williams has to go ham. He has to turn into Deshaun Jackson. Just go deep. He has to be such a threat that if he lines up in the backfield, people panic because they don't know who's getting the ball. They need that. That's just the reality. So that's 100% how I look at it. Let me see. Let me put this in the chat because I want to make sure I give people a chance to come in and talk to me and tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I've lost my mind and that I'm on all kind of bad narcotics. Please do. I'm putting it in the chat now. All right. So just putting it out there. All right. So if you want to join the show, you just really need a cell phone. And then you can hop in. Again, today's going to be kind of a shorter show because college football is back. I know people with the college football and stuff, right? And on top of the college football being back, you have people who are what's the word I want to use? Which one I want to use? Oh, I know how I'm going to word it. You have people who are diehard college fans, right? I'm obviously a Texas and Michigan State guy. And it is what it is. It is what it is. I got my first guest, Crimson Shadow. What's going on, Crimson?
Hey, man. That was the quickest I ever got in.
Hey, listen. Shorter show, but I'm getting it in. So I'm going to probably go about an hour 20. Somewhere.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Yesterday I was on a homework kick. Who gives kids homework in the first week? What the hell?
That's messed up. What kind of homework to make them do?
He's doing math. So
oh god,
luckily it's something I'm good at. So
yeah,
it's something I'm good at. But talk to me, man. Obviously the media is a little bit of crunch time for them. They're in this calm state where they're setting themselves up and preparing themselves, and it's getting to that point.
I mean, of course they're gonna be freaking praising Green Bay. They always have. It's been Green Bay for years. They're never gonna, unless they have a huge effing collapse, they're never gonna stop. It's how they've always been with Green Bay. I mean, I'm just glad they're finally saying some good things about the Lions for once. I get we're not, devout. It's like, oh, they're going to win the division or anything, but it's refreshing to actually hear good things for once. See, that's a very low bar, to be honest with you, especially over the years. You based your channel on terrible articles you had to read with Stafford back in the day. I remember that's how I met you.
Yeah, because they were saying weird stuff. And now when you look up, you hear all these conversations from people like CJ Stroud. Who's your favorite quarterback? Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, can't say nothing now. He's got a freaking Super Bowl ring. Now he's regarded as one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Ironically enough, in years, he was always considered to be, Pat Stafford. Heard that how many times, right?
It's one of the things where I feel like you have to be very cautious with this, especially with us going into a holiday weekend, being 1 week out from, from the first game. They're going to have a lot of talking points because they got to fill the air up for this entire time, right?
And they haven't really talked about our weaknesses, really. I mean, they haven't even really talked about the injury concerns with a lot of our players, which blows my mind. I'm shocked they don't ever really mention that. That's legitimately, I think, our biggest weakness.
Yes.
Like, a lot of these guys are ticking time bombs. Mosley's a great example of what just happened.
And when you look at it, think about this. People who have been hurt with major injuries who are older tend to do what? Get re-injured.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's the thing that you tend to see when you see like people out there getting injured. It's what it is.
It's like, dude, losing Kaminsky is probably going to be really devastating because Hutch really seems to work well with Kaminsky anytime he's ever played with him. It really sucked to hear he got hurt. And I was hoping with Kaminsky at least being out, we can take that Ukwu kid. At least glad we got him on the practice squad because we would have got rid of him outright. I might have been royally pissed.
Yep.
We need somebody to at least generate some pass rush. If we don't have a pass rush, I'm sorry. Your secondary is going to freaking suffer. I don't care how many great secondary players you brought in.
But I can tell you this much. I think one of the most underrated moves, I know everybody's going to look at this and think it's got to be J-Mo. It's got to be J-Mo. It's got to be J-Mo. You know what I think is the most underrated move that the Lions have made this offseason that nobody's talked about, and I'm probably end up doing a video about it, but this is the most underrated move that they've done is move Brian Branch to safety.
Yeah.
There's no move that's going to be more detrimental to success than that move right there, because that move puts somebody back there who can enforce and who has a knack for getting around the ball. And it allows for the other guy in Kirby Joseph or Iffy to make plays on the ball because he's trying to knock you down.
Dude, we've got some freaking safeties that just love to cause pain. Branch, Kirby, Iffy. That is a nasty, nasty safety core. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, 100%. Shout out to Looney Tune who says, speaking of college, how do you feel about Jonathan Smith at MSU? My response to that is I don't judge no coach in college until I see one game of them coaching so I can see how the game flow is for them. I remember everybody at Ohio State got hyped about Day, and every time I watch Day, it looks like in the moment you think he knows something, you realize he's just letting them play. So I got to see at least like some sample size to make that decision. But if I can get anything out of it, and with the way that the Big Ten is switched up and changed, okay, cool. You know, I like who we got at quarterback, and I like some of the other things, but I gotta see a sample size of it. To get back on topic though,
you guys need some love.
It is what it is. Hey, I root for my team, win, lose, or draw. Ain't no switching up.
That's respectable.
You know, but you're right. I feel like when you look at the injuries that we're not talking about, they are concerning. And you look at who we getting ready to go up against. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. I don't even think we need DJ Reader for the first game. We don't need him.
Yeah, I'm not really worried too much about that. It's honestly the one thing that always concerns me is guys like on our O-line. When has our O-line ever been like fully together? Like, we always seem to have this issue where our O-linemen like to drop like flies, and I don't like our backup O-line very much. Like Frank Ragnow and his inoperable toe, and Decker. I think Decker played all last year, if I remember right. And Vaitai Wendy Ever and Glasgow is another ticking time bomb. The only really one that's always healthy is Penne. And if we have to have Manu in there, be guard or tackle, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things where the offensive line to me, I remember when we got what is this damn lineman name? I'm gonna think of his name, and I'm not going to. No. We thought he was going to be great, and he.
Are you talking Crosby?
Yeah. No. Was it Crosby? Was his name?
Yeah.
No. TJ Lang.
Right.
Kept getting hurt. He kept getting hurt. We brought in another guy from. We brought in another offensive lineman who didn't pan out. It just was weird. It's just weird. And so for me, I'm going to hold off until they play and perform like Kevin Zittler and stuff like that. I need them to be successful. Rick Wagner, yes, that's who it was.
Oh yeah, Wagner.
Remember when we was all hyped about getting Rick Wagner and this guy was never on the freaking. He always hurt, and when he wasn't hurt, he couldn't block any damn thing. Oh my god!
You ain't kidding, dude. Dude, we suffered some real bad O-line times, especially with Stafford. How many years it took him to even get a half an O-line like Goff has?
And that's what I'm saying. It's just one of them things where you have to just, you have to just look at it and say, all right, where are we at on it? Let me answer this question really quick, and I'll bring in the next guest really quick. At Luke, do you think Brian Branch can break out of being a top safety this season?
What does he mean by that exactly?
Do he need to be a top safety this season?
Oh, okay.
Or do he need? See, this is the thing you got to remember. Do he need to be a top safety this season, or do he need to match energy? Right? Can he be an enforcer? Yes. Can he be a game changer? Yes. Do he need to be the best safety? I don't think so. I don't need him to be the best safety. I need him to be a force and somebody who can contribute to our success. Outside of that, I'm pretty much good. That's all I really need from him.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you don't need the best everything to win a Super Bowl. I mean, case in point, KC does not have the best everything. They have a lot of things that are just okay, and it works for them.
100%. Let me Crimson. Let me put you in the back. I'm gonna bring in our next guest and let him talk it up for a minute. Give me a second, because like I said, this will be a shorter show because I got the holiday, so I got to put the little time in with the family. Can't just be on here all day long and get yelled at.
So let me put you in the back
and bring you back in a second. Hold on 1 second. And here's my next guest, the bad guy, John Kaplan. I'm gonna need John to change his damn name. John, you're not the bad guy. Where's the bad guy talk, man?
I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy in Lions chat in real life. I'm that guy that people get annoyed at and get mad at and say stupid things when I tell them, and not seriously to shut up, but they're saying stupid stuff. Oh, shut up, we're gonna do good, and then I'm told, why don't you take a bath with a toaster?
Well, listen, let's talk about the Lions, brother. Let's talk about the Lions. Tell me, when you look at the media, when you look at all the things that's being talked about, you look at the concerns that the Lions are going to deal with. They're coming up on week 1. There's a lot of questions out there going on where people are now trying to fill the airwaves with something because it's not too much to talk about in this week. And it's a lot of fake news going out there. People talking about things that's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts? What is your view on the Lions season in terms of expectations, in terms of record, and in terms of what they've done in terms of personnel?
Honestly, I love what they've done with their personnel, with the roster. We did what we needed to do, especially on defense. We added defense, which is exactly what we needed. We needed to replenish, not even replenish. We needed to redo our. Oh, let me move. It's noisy over here. My bad. I
can't hear nothing. I just hear you.
We redid our defensive back room completely. Basically, redid it. It is all new. There's not really anybody from last year that is on the team from last year that is not impactful. We got Aleem McNeil, someone next to him, who even next to him is an upgrade, and when healthy can be better than him, which is exactly what he needs to become better. Iron sharpens iron, and that is exactly what DJ Reader is.
You know, it's funny because my only issue with DJ Reader is how much does he improve the defensive front? Because I believe that if you were to flip it into the mindset of an offensive coordinator, I'm going to go at the side where the pass rusher or the DN is not defined like Aiden Hutchinson. That would be my approach. And DJ Reader coming off a quad injury terrifies me.
No,
it
definitely.
does. So, you know,
that's a big boy, and that's a big muscle. That's a lot of weight roaming around on something that's injured. Take it from a little guy who's got some injuries, and it's like, oh, this hurts. I weigh 138 pounds on a good day. That man weighs like 320 pounds. I don't even want to imagine trying to.
But do the injuries concern you? With Tim Patrick, he tore an Achilles and MCL and ACL. With him, he tore a quad. Like these people we're bringing in is hurt. Yep. I'm just being honest.
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you, and it's what you said yesterday. I thought of this earlier. If you in Brad Holmes, it's like you have that boss that does things, and you're just like, this is so dumb. Why do you keep doing this when everyone else knows that you shouldn't be doing it? Continuously does it, and you have to just go, all right, let's see if this one works, and hopefully throughout the season, everyone can stay healthy enough to contribute. Sure, are some of these guys going to get hurt? Yes, but hopefully, if they do get hurt, it's in spurts to where, they've done enough, or, maybe it's just they're out for 3 weeks and it's not the whole season, and someone else can, pick it up. If Reader goes down, maybe by then Martin's ready to step up, so on and so forth.
Yeah, and again, it's one of the things where I try not to look at it. I try not to take it into account like, oh, it's this big thing, but
that and all the hype that we're hearing about practice. All these people look great in practice. J-Mo looks amazing in practice. That's great. I look awesome when I'm at the park with my little putting green doing my putts. But when I'm out on the actual course, it's taking me 3-4 times to putt the ball into the green. Anyone can look great in practice. How is it in a real life situation? I want to see you be just as great in the regular season and playoffs as you were in practice.
And I agree with that, man. I agree. Now I can start to hear a little noise in the background, like the kids playing and stuff. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and get you out of here a little bit early because I can hear. Now I don't want them to slow down because I know it's hot out there still. It's humid. It's all get out.
It's all good, man.
But I appreciate you for coming in, my brother, and rocking with us and bringing your knowledge, brother. So much love to you, good sir. And listen, stay cool if you can. Hopefully you still listening.
I'm about to go jump in this sucker as soon as I'm off.
Hey, man, have fun, bro.
Go Lions.
Let's go. Look, shout out to C. Perry. He says, what up, though? What's going on, brother? Crimson Shadow says, and can we please get rid of those ugly-ass Thanksgiving jerseys? Those things are cursed and bad juju. I don't think it's necessarily bad juju or curse. I think it's opportunity and positioning. When you look at who we play, like this year, look at the schedule, right? And you look at who we play on Thanksgiving, you got to look at how much time we have between that game. That's a short week. And depending on how brutal that game is, it's going to make a difference on everything. The problem with the Lions, with the Thanksgiving game in particular, is most of them people don't want to be there. The difference this year is they know that expectations are high, and with high expectations, that's a game that people are going to mark down as it needs to be a win. It needs to. And so I don't think it's necessarily a bad juju thing. I just think it's a what's the word I want to use? It's one of those things where, we have to just do better in the moment. I think DJ Reader can get up double teams if he's healthy. Newsflash, they double team people a lot of time based on scheme. They double team Aleem McNeil. I can show you the tape. They did it a whole lot against the 49ers. He still wrecked them, right? So the double team thing is great, but we have to look at it for a different perspective in terms of saying, like, okay, what did he do with the double team that he gets? If he's just occupying the space, he never splits it or make a play, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's work to be done when you get in there. Crimson says that Broderick, I pray, develops with more raps. It's not. It's Crimson, I'm bringing you back in for this one. Why?
I pray, dude. You gotta pray for it.
It's not happening.
I know it's not, but I gotta hope for this. We thought the same thing with Jack, and he got better. But
who?
Jack Campbell. I mean, first you
no.
Didn't
My problem with Jack Campbell still remained to be the same. Which was
I thought you said Jack got better over time.
Listen, when I went to practice, he certainly looked better. But my problem with him was he wasn't wrapping up on tackles, at least when he came in here, and he got better over time. True. The difference between him and Broderick Martin is Broderick Martin ain't played nobody. His highest level of competition was you and me.
I get that, but the problem is if Reader gets hurt, which the odds of that are very effing high, then we're probably going to be stuck with Broderick and Aleem. And that's the only thing I could do is hope it works out and hope Brad's gamble pays off, even though I'm quite doubtful. And I know we're going to say Levi, but again, Levi's another one that you're going to trust that he's going to stay healthy, or if he's even going to beat out Broderick. I know they say he's better at training, but I need to see him on the field before I could say, oh, yeah, he's the bona fide number 2.
Well, I can tell you like this. My expectations are high, and they are going to remain high because I believe that the Lions have a really good opportunity to be successful. And I believe that they can be successful if they too take it as serious as we are as fans. And what I mean by that is do not go into some of these games expecting to think that, oh, these is nobody's we're going to win. Do not go into it thinking that, oh, we got this person, that person, all these names, and they don't perform.
Oh, yeah, there's no way I'm going to be like trying to sleep on any teams. You know why? The Seattle game last year. We did that crap with the stupid ski mask, and it bit us in the ass.
Well, one guy did that crap with the ski mask, and I hated it. Remember, I came on, I was upset about it. I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, it was stupid.
And then he was trash the whole game.
Oh, yeah. And then he got hurt. And then
get hurt. Again, I digress. All right, let me see. Again, this will be a shorter video. I do apologize. The plan is to go live tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure all the college games are going on, so I may just drop a video. I may just drop the video instead of going live.
Well, that's been a while since you did that.
You know what it is? Having kids and trying to record, every time you try to record, somebody comes up and go, Dad, and it's like, oh God. Ah, Jesus, I was just into a good point.
Man, so just wait till they start getting into football.
You know, it's one of them things. It's one of the things. Like, you can't beat it. Let me see. Hope we smash Stafford, send a freaking message to the NFL. Yeah, see, if they go in and they smash the Rams, oh my God. That means you got to go out and smash the Cardinals. You got to just go ahead and handle your business over there.
Oh, yeah.
With the NFC West. Because the only team that should be challenging you should be somebody else differently.
You play your kid in Madden at all? I could see you trying to teach your kid plays through Madden.
Yeah, I mean, we play Madden and try to learn football that way, but I use a little bit of a different method. I know John said he got a question he want to ask on live, so I'll let him ask this question really quick. Hold on. John, what's that question?
Yeah, John.
So, speaking of Levi, we were talking about, Brad was talking about extending the contract of our other defensive tackle. What happens if this season, if Levi comes out and proves the talk right, that he is a beast? It's not just practice, that he is a beast. And then you got 2 guys at defensive tackle that are just dogs. What are we doing then? Who are we signing then? Now,
then you let him walk and pray to God that somebody picks him up and you get a comp pick for him. I'm not doing the one-hit wonder crap. Okay.
Yeah. Aleem is more steady, and you know that he'll stick around.
And Aleem's going to get paid before the bye week. So that's just my prediction, John.
Okay.
So
I just came to me. I want to ask that on live so the people maybe can drum that up, stir that up. That's your guys' answer. People in the chat, people seeing this, think about that one.
No, I'm with it, 100%.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question, but at that point, one good season, you got to go.
I mean, it's a possibility, depending on contracts, you might get them both if you're lucky, but I doubt it.
It is what it is. It is.
Again, you probably get maybe you give them another 1 year prove it season just because, okay, you may have been good this 1 year, do it again. Maybe we'll talk turkey. But again, I'm with you. I can't do the 1 year wonder thing.
Nope, because guess what? Every time somebody do good for 1 year, then we pay them and they disappear. And I'm over it. Perry Ball says at Luke, if the defense don't get better and the pass rush is bad again, it's the blame on the coaches or Holmes. I blame Holmes. Why am I not blaming the coaches? Because you have to complete the task. And you had a draft where you could have got that. And what you did is you opted to take a player who's a project tackle guard center because he's big as hell and can run.
Yep.
There were people that you could have took that would have been of more value than a project offensive lineman. So yeah, I blame Holmes.
On top of that, shoot, you could have got Brian Burns. You had every opportunity to go out and get him, but no, you lost him out to the New York Giants.
Or better yet, how about this? Better yet, you could have traded for Hassan Riddick or just signed Hassan Riddick. You could have went out and did so many other things. You got cap space. There's no excuse for it. I totally get it. You don't want to pay the outside guy. Cool. But if you tell me that the pass rush does not get better and you added DJ Reader and Marcus Davenport, that is on the general manager.
On top of that, what are we talking here? Like, in what situations? If all of our players there are healthy and it still sucks, okay. But if they're all hurt, then yeah, that's automatically going to be freaking Brad Holmes, which we've been warning for years. Taking all these injured what-if players is going to bite you in the ass. I don't know what his obsession with it is. I love Holmes, but I do not like that factor.
Exactly, and that's why I'm saying. So, and if you don't believe me, let me just let somebody who else we're talking about.
Excuse me.
Aaron Jones in Minnesota. You talking about AJ?
No, but
let me get over there. I want him to talk. I want him to tell you
he can catch
what Aaron Glenn had to work with.
The Lions were fighting left-handed last year, right? Aaron Glenn didn't have no horses in the stable, man. He had
and before somebody decided to start talking about Aiden Hutchinson, I'm telling you. There's a lot of people in the football world who thinks he's great, but there's a lot of people in the football world who's like he needs to do more to be considered great. I'm just putting it out there. He's not when he says he has no horses in the stable. He's not. It's not on deaf ear.
Yeah, wet paper bags out there on the defensive side of the ball. What do? They go out there. They got Carlton Davis. They draft Teron Arnold. Right? They go out and get DJ Reader, who was a beast. And then they get Davenport to balance up the rushing attack. So now you talk about a complete team that's going to play with a level of physicality that represents its city and represents its coach.
That's all it boils down to, people. That's all it boils down to. Let me bring in my next guest, D-Map Zoom, before we get ready to get up out of here. D-Map, what's going on, brother? Long time no hear.
My brothers. How long has it been since I've been on here?
It's been a while. Talk to me about the Lions, brother. What's going on?
So far, yeah, team look good. I don't know why Brad Holmes keep on getting all these dang injured players. It's like, yeah, they got some talent.
I thought we had a problem with it, but that's neither nor there.
I don't know why, but hey, well, they can perform. I don't care. I know it's a year. It's Super Bowl bust. I don't care what anybody says.
So you got your question is Super Bowl or bust? Hey, I love it.
There's no excuse. Like, come on now, y'all were knocking on that door last year. Last year, I already knew they was gonna lose. I wasn't even mad about them losing. I already knew that was going to happen. They had the experience. Now y'all got the experience, and y'all got a better team this year compared to last year. So now
it's a sour taste. That loss is even more sour.
Oh, trust me. A lot of players flat out said they were pissed. They watched that game so many times over the offseason while they were training, and they were pissed. They lost. No, we ain't letting that happen again. They said we ain't letting that happen again.
and this is 100% sure. Perry Ball makes a very good point. Holmes is banking on the upside of the injured players that he's getting for less than market rate, and that's the problem.
Pretty much.
That's the problem. You had a draft that you could have added somebody that's going to be market rate.
I mean, you know, we got Wingo, which is nice and all, but it's like you could have gotten somebody else too. But that's all he really did.
Really?
Lineman went.
The crappy thing is you're betting on bargain bin players in free agency, and then on top of that, you're drafting project players.
Pretty much.
I feel like you got to pick one lane or the other, man. That's really risky.
We've done this in almost every draft, though. We've traded up for project players a few times.
Yep.
You know,
how many times does it pay off?
Martin, like so far, it's like I forgot Enrique was even on the team. To be honest, has he done anything?
Again, it's just one of the things where I want people to understand. Like, look, we need to know who's going to be Robin to Batman. Like, this is nothing new. Who is Robin to Batman? And that's important. It's really important because that pass rush is going to force it up the middle to our D tackles, and it's going to cause all kind of problems. When you look at most people, when everybody says, "Oh, we're no fly zone," they had freaking DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller on the outside. I don't even got a name who was on the inside. Just look at who they had at pass rush.
Exactly.
Man.
That's all I'm saying.
Question is, Houston get back to his prime form that he was before he got injured? I'm not sure.
I kept hearing in freaking like them saying they were practicing the deep ball with JMO. I mean, I know that Jared Goff, one of his things he wanted to improve on was his deep ball. I mean, we'll see if he improved on it or not. I mean, you were at training camp, Luke. You'd know more than us when it comes to seeing it firsthand.
Look, I'll tell you this much. I was first of all, shout out to my friend, because when you got good friends, you get to do a lot of cool things, and he is so connected that I got to be in VIP love, and it was amazing. Nice. Very amazing.
They have catering there?
Huh?
Would they have catering?
Man, listen,
food or drinks,
all that, everything. We had real food. We had it all, man. It was beautiful, bro. I mean, it was really. I was like, yo, this is what this feel like. Like, man, we walking past lines, like people. There was a long line of people out there. We walked past all of that. Like I've never seen. We had a different parking area.
Oh, so basically like those easy passes, those skip passes and Cedar Point.
Man, yes, it was like
man.
That sounds amazing.
We had a chance to sit down with different players and get autographs. Some of the players came up there and just talked with us, and it was nice. That's all I'm gonna say. Let me show this really quick, because I just want people to understand when I talk about who should get blamed if things are not improved. Coaching gets some blame, but let's just look at the draft. I'm going to tell y'all right now, we took him here and we traded up for this. Okay, we did the same thing with Broderick Martin. Okay, did the same thing with Mitchell and a few other players. I don't get it. Were there players left that I really wanted? I'll show you one, and I'm telling you, he's going to be a household name, and he's on the Bears. You could have had that guy. You could have had that guy.
I remember looking at his tapes, and I liked what I saw.
Yeah, Austin Booker was a beast. You could have had Brennan Jackson. I would have took that guy.
Man, I was hoping of them getting a DN, but what's that guy? I saw was Wingo, and that was it. I'm like, no offense.
I was hoping for Cooper Beebe, to be honest with you, because I'm a little worried about Frank Ragnow, but that's just me.
I wanted this guy.
Man,
I watched him wreck the Colorado at Colorado State. All I knew is, I'm like, who the hell is number 8, and how does he keep causing problems? These were 3 guys you could have had. Now, granted, we traded back, traded up, all that cool stuff. I get it. But a project, and for somebody to be like, oh, man, big deal's only a 4th-round pick. I'm in Ron St. Brown's a 4th-round pick. And if you really want to test me, I can name you all the Hall of Famers who were taken way, way, way past the first.
On top of that, was this guy even going to be taken in the 4th round or even taken in the draft at all if you would have done this? You probably could have taken this guy undrafted. I don't think anybody was going to pick this guy.
Even if they was, so what? Who was he going to help this year? I'll wait.
Man, I swear.
How many
it's like we only took one D lineman. I'm looking like one D lineman. Should we get at least 2?
It's like I don't know what
got Wingo.
So I'm just saying that's how I look at it. I'm not trying to make it more difficult. I just want to bring it up to the people to say, look, before you start to do it, ask yourself, were there people left that you felt good about? For me, there were 3. Austin Booker was number 1. I thought Austin Booker would have been perfect.
He felt like
perfect for the Lions to complement Aiden Hutchinson. I thought another person who would have been perfect for the Lions was Brandon Jackson. And I also thought that Muhammad Kamara would have been perfect. Don't believe me? Go back and check it. It's evidence.
All of them fell to the 5th. We got at least one of them.
I literally put this out there.
I hope
I thought they would be perfect.
I really do.
I thought this guy would have been perfect for the Lions as a compliment. He led the NCAA in sacks. Right? Like, that's 4. That's 4 people.
It's like, I don't know what if Brad Holmes, what's he think? This is hockey? Does he have to go out of country to like scout players? Like, what's next? We're gonna have a Czechoslovakian linebacker next year. What's next?
No, you know what? What it is this, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news. He's right. He's right to follow his process, right? I don't knock him for following his process. I don't knock him if he hits or miss. I see John Jones, who was like, Luke, stop. How many picks has Brad hit and then missed on? If I did my real count, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know what? Fucking, I'll show you. That's not the point of what I'm saying in terms of saying that. I'm saying who's the compliment to Aiden Hutchinson. But if you really want me to do the hit and misses for Brad Holmes, I'll do it. I mean, seriously, I would do it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's got a lot of good hits. Don't get me wrong. But some of the moves he makes just seem so. Why would you do that? Why?
They're random.
And to me, it's not just draft. It's also the free agent stuff.
Don't get me started with free agency. We wasted freaking picks and getting receivers that haven't did nothing.
I know, right?
Like, what, 2 different receivers ain't do nothing?
And again, this is not. I want people to be clear. This is not a knock on Brad Holmes thing. This is. I really wanted to address a weakness that we had.
Yeah, I was hoping he did that just as much as he did for the cornerback. Quarterback room, he addressed that.
I mean,
what up, though, Cap Ice Code?
I was hoping he did more for freaking the D line. Yeah, he got Reader, that's nice. Yeah, he got Wingo, but I was hoping at least get one more person. If he had at least one more person, I'd be like, okay, I'm good.
I mean, look, we got to be able to critique people, okay? Not everyone's perfect. If we can't critique people, you can't get better. That's just a fact.
And again, I'm not knocking them, but if you're forcing me to go through and look at hit and miss, let's start right here. Again, it depends on how you look at it. Obviously, Penei Sewell was a hit. Levi, miss. Aline, hit. Iffy, the jury's still out on. Okay, he had some success last year, but trust me, I ain't finna sit here and write it off like he's killing it.
Fair enough.
Amon-Ra, hit. Derek Burns,
I mean, maybe
he's gotten better. He's gotten better, but he's a push. Jamar Jefferson, the 7th round pick, no big deal. Whatever. Yeah. Chase Lucas didn't do much, no big deal.
He was okay.
James Houston, I'm gonna give him a hit for this.
Yeah.
Malcolm Rodriguez, I'll give him a hit. James Mitchell, miss. Joseph, hit. Pascal, jury still out on.
Yeah.
Jameson Williams, jury still out on. Aiden Hutchinson, I'll give him a hit. Antoine Green, I thought would have been a hit, but injury caught him.
Yes, there was an article saying that him getting hurt really messed up the plans, and that's how Isaiah Williams got the spot.
Probably did. Kobe Sorsdale, miss.
Big time.
Roderick Martin, miss. Hendon Hooker, I can't believe I'm going to say this.
That was it.
Miss.
Oh, dang.
Why?
Missed
why? Yeah, I'm telling you why he's a miss.
Now that's a hot take.
I'm telling you why he's a miss. He's a miss only because we had one more year on Jared Goff's contract, and you read up on it before you ever saw what you had in Hendon Hooker.
I mean, you also got to remember this. If it doesn't work out in a couple of years with Goff and he's still red hot, you can still get good trade value with Goff and then ride out.
Or just release him, which is probably what's going to happen. Brian Branch
or release Goff.
Brian Branch hit. Laporta hit. Jack Campbell, jury's still out on. Practice, he looked great. I saw improvement. Jahmyr Gibbs hit. And I can't, they ain't played yet, so I can't do this class. So, yes, are there more hits than miss? Sure. But then you start to go to the free agency pool, and don't even get me started.
Don't get me started with my free agency.
So I'm just asking for a complimentary You know, I'm just looking for complimentary to Aiden Hutchinson. That's my only concern.
Yeah, we still haven't seen that yet.
That's it. Levi, Andre, Miz so far. Pascal, very little so far. Martin, project. Manu, project. Mitchell, miss. Green, hurt, work in progress. Cody Sourcedale, project. Sutton, bad. Mosley, injury.
Mosley just unlucky, man. He's so dang unlucky.
No, he's not. He's hurt. That's what he is. He's been hurt. That's why he's over on the 49ers, and the 49ers moved on from him because he's been hurt.
Man's like that freaking man that was born with glass bones. And
I swear, it's like then once the minute he gets better, he get injured again. I'm like, bro, you can't catch a break, can you?
But again, it's not just that. So look, I want to make sure I'm being clear about this.
I'm grateful.
This is not me bashing Brad Holmes. This is the question was asked: if there's still no pass rush from the D line, who do you blame, the coach or Brad Holmes? I blame the guy who brings in the personnel. Right? If the food at the party stinks and is disgusting, you don't blame the person who's throwing the party. You blame the cook.
Where you get that food from, man?
And again, I have no problems with Brad Holmes other than I felt like he was taking too long to address the biggest problem of our team, which was defense. So that's all I pointed out.
But I ain't gonna lie, I do have a question though. Yeah, you think he'll probably go get somebody in the free agent? I mean,
Drew Crum.
Yeah, I'll say in free agency. I say halfway mark.
I think that Brad Holmes has shown me that he is always actively looking for more talent and looking for situational things. And so for me, I believe that there are players that he is going to be looking at in their situation. There's a few that I put a target on that I think could come up for a possible trade, but I do want to do a video on that, so I can't share it right now.
Okay.
Oh,
but
God,
I can
that's
tell you
another
there's
thing.
some people.
Oh, God, that's another thing you could judge him on is trades. Honestly, he's a car crash when it comes to trades.
I agree.
I don't know if I agree with that, though, because if you look at most of the trades that he's got and what it turned into, is it really a car crash or is it,
other than the Goff and Stafford trade,
no, take that trade out. Right,
okay,
take that trade out. What trade did he have that was a car crash where it took some real?
Benson would be a bad one.
Who?
Who indeed?
No. You know what I'm saying? Who you say would be a bad one?
I'd say the Benson trade was a waste.
Benson?
Yeah, that was a real waste.
What was that? A 5th round pick? Okay,
I think it was a 4th round actually.
No, that was a 5th. I'm almost sure it's a 5th.
I thought it was.
I doubt he go 4th round with Benson. I doubt it. I doubt he go 4th round.
But go ahead. Who else?
Benson even play.
Donovan Peoples-Jones was another.
I hated that trade. Yep, that's true.
that trade sucked. That trade really sucked. I'm trying to remember. I swore there was another trade he did that drove me fucking nuts.
All of his trades have been low draft picks. I don't think there's. I mean, even his trade to get picks for TJ Hockenson panned it out into players.
To me, that one was perfect. I ain't gonna lie.
Right,
that one was perfect. He knew.
If your argument was that is. And again, this is not bashing.
I mean,
Brad
Cam
Holmes.
Sutton didn't we trade
that one was terrible.
That was free agency.
Who knew?
I thought we traded somebody for Cam.
I don't know. Cam Sutton was
free agency.
Oh, I thought it was a trade.
And I hated that signing. And I got tired of people telling me I was crazy. He was so great. And I was like, all right, watch this.
That dude got cooked by everybody.
It is what it is.
He got cooked by everybody.
You know what? Cap Ice Co, I think that's a fair assessment. You know, he said, I think most of the free agent stuff he does is to give the time to his draft picks to hit hard. I get it. I totally get it. What's going on, Noel? Shout out to Noel, who is our one of our servicemen serving our country, keeping us safe. So shout out to you, good sir. How you feel about Carlton? I as a Bucks fan and a Lion fan, when we traded for him, I'm gonna be honest with you, not happy. I'm not happy.
Y'all traded Carlton. What the hell?
Yeah, no, because what it is when he came here, he was losing steps and he was getting injured more than he was usually doing. So my only hope is that with the better safety play and hopefully better D-line play, you know, it can kind of mask him and stuff, and we can get some good play from him. But he's on a 1-year rental.
But you did like that Amik Robinson signing, though.
I do like Amik Robinson because he's a good role player. But again, I wasn't big on it. Brad Holmes draft trades have been fire. I ain't mad at you, Scott. I ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at it.
You know, I don't think he takes free agency seriously.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Love you, Luke. Love you too, brother. And happy Labor Day weekend to everyone. 100%. All right. It has been an hour and 25 minutes. All right. And I told my kids I was going to play Mario Party with them, and I am going to be a man of his word.
Yeah.
Okay,
hey, man, you're gonna be a menace. Take all them stars and coins.
Listen, we
rent money, bro.
We listen. There are certain games that when this family play it, it can break up a happy home. That's all I'm gonna say.
No such thing as mercy.
Give the people your final thoughts really quick, D-Map Zoom, and then we get out of here.
All right, have fun talking to you again, Luke. It's been so long, my friend. I forgot you got another newborn.
Yes,
how many more you playing? Had 12.
No, I'm good. No, don't put
that family big.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
You're gonna give him a football team, man.
I'll say you can get set twins next.
Go green, go white, baby. I'm gonna leave that up there. Go ahead, though, D-Map. Give him the final thought. Man. I want to make sure I don't cut you off.
I enjoy myself, man. Hope y'all have 100%. Fun out there. Stay safe and go Lions. Oh, go blue all day.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, he had to slide that in there, didn't he? But yeah.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
You gonna say go blue and run out of here?
Man, wake up, man! Go blue drive by. What the?
Yeah, wake up! All right, give him the final thoughts, man.
Damn.
Give him the final thoughts, Princeton.
Well, here's the Lions season. Here's the hopefully making the Super Bowl. And everyone be safe. And God bless all.
100%. You know me, man. Show starts off on a positive note and it ends on one. Today's quote comes from Zura Baez. I hope I said that name right. She says, "You won't realize how sad you were in your environment until you leave it." Man, let me tell y'all wouldn't know this, but I used to hang around some unsavory folks, and I used to be in some environments that was unheard of. And when I got out those environments, I started to realize just how miserable I was. While I was in it, it's very similar to what Jennifer Lewis said. If you stay in shit long enough, it stops stinking. Come up out of it. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to ask you to do. Some of y'all need to change your environment. Some of y'all need to change your friends. And some of y'all need to change the places that y'all go, because you have a whole big world out there and you're limiting yourself to a group of people in an area that's not feeding into you. You ever wonder why when you look into certain neighborhoods, it's got more trees than the other? It's because they're purposely making sure that that neighborhood has better air quality than the others. If you ever go into some neighborhoods and notice that the houses look a little bit different than others, it's because they're purposely trying to create an environment of despair. I'm asking you to just simply do something different and exit those environments. Do something different. Get out of those relationships that don't serve you. Get away from those friends who only come to you to get things but never are able to give anything. Get out of those moments and set yourself free. The world is so much bigger than you know, and the moment you take a second to just simply realize it, it's the moment you start to feel a whole lot better. You are only sad because you were in an environment that you didn't even know you were sad in. In the words of Jennifer Lewis, if you stay in shit long enough, it stops stinking. Come up out of it. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. And if you don't do nothing else, don't be no chump. Please do your research. I'm out.